On February 8th, 1985, the Dukes of Hazzard ended after having 7 seasons in total and consisting of 147 episodes. Now, this wouldn't be the last time we'd even see the Dukes, as they would come back, but not in the way you think. They would come back for 2 TV films. The first one being the 1997 Dukes of Hazzard TV reunion film that came out on April 25th, 1997. And the second one being the Dukes of Hazzard, Hazzard in Hollywood, that came out on May 19th, 2000s. That's crazy, actually. They both came out, whatever. So, we're gonna go over both of these right now. And this will be my final Dukes video. I don't think there's any more Dukes videos I can make. I'm not really going to talk about the Johnny Knoxville movie like I wanted to, and I'm not touching that prequel with a 2-foot pole. That prequel movie is not getting touched with my stick, no poking. I'm not even going to touch it.
Just a good old boy.
The Dukes of Hazzard Reunion is a 1987 American made-for-TV action-adventure film reuniting the surviving cast members of the television series, which originally aired, the special originally aired on CBS on April 25th, 1997. The popularity of the Dukes of Hazzard reruns on the Nashville network led to a rejuvenated interest in the franchise, which resulted in this reunion film and a sequel reunion film that we'll get into later. So, what's the plot of this? Well, the plot is that Hazzard County is having a reunion festival, and Uncle Jesse is facing a lawsuit filed by Mama Josephine Max for access across Duke property to the Hazzard Swamp, where she intends to build a theme park. Uncle Jesse, of course, has refused access in order to preserve the swamp, and now residents are angry with him for some reason, as a theme park would bring jobs and revenue to Hazzard County. Bro, listen, it sounds like Yellowstone, because they're always stopping people from building over there. I'm gonna calm down now. Let's keep reading. So, Cooter Davenport, now a congressman, arrives to meet Jesse at the Duke farm. Bo Duke, now a professional racer, arrives thereafter, followed by Daisy Duke, who has been at Duke University getting a PhD in ecology. Oh, she's doing nature stuff, and it's so funny that she's going to a university called Duke University when she's literally Daisy Duke. I'm not funny. After a bitter divorce, Luke Duke, now a smoke jumper for the Forestry Service. A smoke jumper is specifically trained wildland firefighters to provide an initial attack respond on remote wildfires. So I think it's pretty cool. I don't know what to say. I'm sad that he got divorced though. But these things happen. So they're all surprised to learn that Sheriff Roscoe is now also the county boss after he inherited Boss Hogg's empire when he died. So I guess the actor for Boss Hogg was dead, and they couldn't film with him. So, the Dukes get suckered into an overland car race to determine whether or not Max gets access to the swamp. Enos Strait arrives from LA, where he is working as an officer with the LAPD. If you remember from my last video, I said that he came back in the special, but he was already back in the show regardless. So, Enos had a spin-off show when he left season 3, where he was the LA cop. But then when the show got canceled, he returned in season 5. So, I guess they just wanted to bring that back, that plotline in the special. I just thought I should mention that since I just uploaded that video, which you should go watch, by the way. After being in storage for 11 whole years, the Dukes prepare the General Lee for the race and take it for a test run, but the car is overturned by an unknown assailant. Cooter repairs the General while the Dukes spend time at the Boar's Nest, now in a new location. Bo recognizes the men who ran him off the road, including a disbarred race driver named Cam Cutler, who they learn was hired by Mama Max to win the race. After a bar fight with Max's men, the Cooters return to... I said the Cooters. I meant to say the Dukes. The Dukes return to Cooter, who warns them that the General cannot sustain another attack. When Luke begins to consider a few dirty tricks of their own, Jesse tells them that they will run the race fairly, and that no causeway can be built to the Hazzard Swamp because the ground will not support such a thing due to the lack of supporting bedrock. At the Hazzard Swamp, Daisy and Enos have a picnic, and he confesses the only reason he returned to Hazzard was so that he could ask her to marry him, which she accepts. Aww, that's really cute, actually. Wait, I didn't know Daisy and Enos were a thing. I mean, she did kiss him when he left in his leaving episode. So I guess whatever. For some reason, though, Mama Max has her men kidnap Daisy after learning that she spotted gallium arsenide, which is a direct band gap semiconductor with a zinc blend crystal structure. or on the swamp. And she will only release Daisy if Bo and Luke lose the race, which is bad. You know, we can't have that. Daisy convinces Mama Max to have her men run errands for her wedding, stating that the lack of wedding preparations will cause unwanted attention. After a passionate request, Max agrees to help with the wedding plans herself, and she eventually accepts Daisy's request to be her matron of honor. Honestly, that's some smart shit right there, man. You gotta have a distraction. You know, these things need to happen. And so, the race between Cam and the Dukes begins, with Cam driving in Buzz's 00, the only car to beat the General Lee in an overland car race. The Dukes win, though, because, well, you can't have them lose in a thing like this. And Luke pulls Riker out of the trunk and tells Roscoe he kidnapped Daisy on Max's orders, so they would lose the race. Roscoe tells Mama Max how stupid he believes she is, stating that he conned her into building the theme park. Roscoe had obtained a sample of gallium arsenide ore and put it in the swamp so Max would find it. He also reveals that the FBI sent him a list of the county's 10 most wanted real estate con artists, with Max at number 1. Roscoe also reveals that his plan was inspired by a quote in Boss Hogg's memoir that offered advice regarding a con artist. That went really fast. What in the fuck? That went so fast. What the heck? Anyways, Daisy prevents Roscoe from arresting Mama Max so she can attend the wedding. But before they are married, Enos and Daisy, a bus pulls up and the driver turns out to be Daisy's ex-husband, LD, who is lost. I did not know she had an ex-husband. And because of that, she decides she's not ready to get married again. And instead, Bubba and Bertha Joe get married instead. I kind of feel bad for Enos, but I'm sure him and Daisy are just going to be like boyfriend and girlfriend for a while. I mean, I don't know. We'll have to find out in the sequel. Which, speaking of the sequel...
Ever meaning no harm. Beats all you never saw. Been in trouble with the law since the day they was born.
So, the sequel to the first TV film is called Dukes of Hazzard, Hazzard in Hollywood. And, as I mentioned before, it was released on May 19th of 2000 on CBS. And, as with the reunion, the theme song they used for the show wasn't used for some reason for these movies, so they used a song called Good Times. Not to be confused with the Monkees song Good Times, although that wasn't even out yet. At least all the Monkees were still alive. Oh my god!
Hey, what's the matter?
It's dead! Baby John!
Oh no!
This movie's kind of interesting. They got like an actual celebrity in here. Country music star Toby Keith. That's pretty cool. So it's a follow-up of the first movie, and it begins with Bo and Luke partaking in the Hazzard County Festival, which I mentioned before. It has Toby Keith in it or whatever. I don't listen to Toby Keith, but pretty cool that he's in it. And when an old enemy of the deceased J.D. Hogg, Ezra Bushmaster, arrives in Hazzard, he donates a significant amount of money to the hospital fund on the condition that the people of Hazzard can raise the rest by a certain amount of time. Damn, bro! A music promoter on vacation in Hazzard says he'll buy the master tapes of the performances of music stars who perform in Hazzard. So the Dukes decide to travel to Hollywood to sell some country music recordings to raise the rest of the money. You know, they don't have to do this. I'm just now thinking, maybe they don't have to. But alright. Whatever. But they're not alone when they go to Hollywood. They go with Roscoe and in his RV, accompanied by a fake basset hound named Einstein. Why is it fake? What? Anyways, Cooter comes with them too, and Cletus Hogg in a truck carrying Daisy's motorcycle, because Daisy was the only one who rode a motorcycle. And on the way there, they were shot by a one-eyed hitman who was hired by Ezra, as it was later discovered, to stop the Dukes. What? But of course, that don't stop them, because they get to Hollywood and they set up a camp in Hollywood Hills. And Enos joins them because, Enos lives there. Of course he's gonna join them. But then he informs them they need permits to camp next to the Hollywood sign. And then a couple of hitmen steal the RV. Alright, why? What is happening? Was the show this insane? I haven't watched it. Can someone tell me, please? In an attempt to recover the RV and the music that was inside it, Bo and Luke save a Mexican from a group of gang members. The boy's older brother soon arrives with friends in a lowrider convertible, They thank Bo and Luke, and after seeing what they can do with General Lee and a ramp, they invite them to a block party where Bo just falls in love with the cousin of Caprano. I don't know what's going on right now. I really don't. So where is the RV? Well, the RV is at a chop shop, and by the time they get there, it's been chopped. But the music recordings were not inside, so they continue looking when the General Lee's transmission goes out. They're confronted by a woman who threatens to take their car, which she thinks has a racing engine she wants, which they don't have, obviously. That's really weird. What the hell? After being confronted by rattlesnakes on General Lee's seat, she asks them, "You boys aren't from New Jersey, are you?" It is revealed that the two hitmen who stole the RV went to her, and she threatened them the same way, and they told her that the boys had the racing engine she was looking for. She fixes the car in exchange for the recipe to Uncle Jesse's old barbecue sauce. I bet some good barbecue sauce, but I wouldn't know, though. In the meantime, Daisy gets work as a stuntwoman, and Roscoe meets up with an unfriendly loan shark, and the music promoter was a big old fraud that had tangled with Enos in the past, as had the loan shark. The boys eventually retrieved the music, and discovered that Ezra Bushmaster, the man who donated the money for the hospital, was the same man behind the theft all along, and that is weird. And also, the film was dedicated to the guy who played Uncle Jesse. I guess he's dead. Yeah, he died. I guess, yeah. Alright. Also, this is the last time the original cast appears in any Dukes productions. On the Dukes of Hazzard 4th season DVD set, Tom Wopat said that he is opposed to any further reunion films with the original cast because of the absence of Sorrel Book, who played Boss Hogg, and Denver Pyle, who was Uncle Jesse, shows very vividly on screen, and to him, the chemistry is just not right anymore. So we're not gonna get any more reunion films. Maybe like a documentary. I don't know. Shit, doesn't even hurt to ask, does it? Like, damn. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Next video, I'm finally making my analog horror thing. I wish I could make a series, but I'm not. But I found one that I don't think anyone's seen yet. So far, this series that I found doesn't really have that much views. The pilot only has 532 as of recording, but I'm sure my video will somehow boost it in a way. I hope it does. So stay tuned for that, and I will see you guys later. Bye.
Straightening the curves, flattening the hills. Someday the mountain might get them, but the law never will. Making their way the only way they know how. That's just a little bit more than the law will allow. Just a good old boy, they wouldn't change if they could. Fighting the system like a true modern day Robin Hood.